So I made a little video the other day about steroids. I always make videos about steroids, but it's a hot topic. I made videos about steroids the other day and explaining how the mind kind of works on it and it can alter your brain chemistry. But I didn't go into too much detail, so in this video we're going to go into in-depth on mainly depression. Can steroids cause depression? Can they cause anxiety? Can they alter brain chemistry? Can they put you under a trance where you feel untouchable or where you feel very, very vulnerable? And the answer is, unfortunately, yes. If you are taking the wrong doses, if you don't know how to do it, if you are taking it with a bad diet, if you're taking it without training or training really bad or taking recreational drugs on top of doing steroids. And I'm not talking about TRT here, guys. This is not TRT. This is not low-dose TRT. TRT is not going to affect your mood that much to the point where it's going to crash. You'll feel good, you'll feel high, you'll feel amazing, and you'll just be good. But there's a point of diminishing returns where if you step over that line, steroids can be very fatal in the wrong hands. I'm not here to mention any names. I'm not here to push any people under the bus. I'm not here to, tarnish anybody's name. But we all know it's happened to a lot of bodybuilders. And I say bodybuilders because they are known to take more steroids than the normal athletes out there. There's a lot of athletes out there that take steroids. There's so many sports stars out there that have taken steroids. But majority, let's call a spade a spade. Keep it real. We know it's bodybuilders. And it's a lot of young bodybuilders that overdo it because they think they want to get there today. And they think this is what they need to do to get there. They think everybody else is doing this much. Whereas some of the top pros we know aren't doing nowhere near as much as a shit amateur. And that's because they've got the genetics. They've been dealt the ace cards. Every single round, they have had an ace card. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go for it, bro. Whereas a lot of amateurs I see, and when I say ace cards, they've used them at the right time. Let's talk about someone, if you guys are bodybuilding fans, Samson from the UK. He had an ace card up his sleeve for many years. He spoke about, I don't know if he said about insulin, but I'm sure he didn't take insulin from a young age when he was competing. He didn't take growth hormone from a young age. He didn't take trembolone from a young age. When he started taking these, what I would class as ace cards, bro, the guy came from a good pro. Hear what I say here. A very good pro, British champion level good pro. Someone who can potentially win the Arnold Classic good pro, potentially. When he used his ace cards at the right time he used his ace cards, he knew he was good, he knew he was destined for greatness. Now, he's not only in the top 10 Mr. Olympia race, he is in the race for number one. The number one, top of the world, number one, Mr. Olympia. And he held back on that card, or those cards, from what I've heard around the internet and the buzz that I've seen recently. He held back on that card for a very, very long time. Big Ramy was just a guy working in the gym from Egypt. He used to put the weights away. There's professional bodybuilders training around him. He starts training, grows, because he had the genes to grow. Starts taking everything else, boom, Mr. Olympia overnight. Went to New York and beat some of the top pros, Victor Martinez, Juan Morel, some of the top pros that year when Big Ramy first won the New York Pro. I don't know what it was called back then. Yeah, it was the New York Pro, Night of Champions. Anyway, if you're bodybuilding, you know what I'm talking about. Those guys held on to the ace card. They had the genetics. They knew what to do with it. Many individuals like that are just naturally good at something. Not everybody is. So when an amateur bodybuilder will see someone like that, they'll think it's got to be steroids. They automatically think it has to be the steroids. I don't know where that idea comes from. It's stupid, it's crazy. But they got to think it's got to be the steroids. Ronnie Coleman, just one more quick example. Ronnie Coleman, he was a police officer, went to the gym. We can see the picture today. Brian Dobson shares the picture when Ronnie Coleman walks in the gym with his police uniform. Looks jacked as hell. Could be anyone right now on any show, majority of shows anyway, not the pros. He could enter any amateur show naturally and win them. Started taking steroids, boom, Mr. Olympia for 8 years in a row. So the point is, this is why this heavy dose comes along, because then you get guys like JP, trained by JP, coming on with absolute terrible genetics. He's younger than me, wears a face mask to bed, breathes like this in between every time he takes a sentence. When I first watched him, I'm thinking, is this guy just trained? And he was sat at home, couldn't breathe properly. Sleep apnea mask. You do not wear a sleep apnea mask to bed. If you have sleep apnea, fix it. Do something about it. Fix that. You do not say, oh, it's okay, I'll just wear this mask all of a sudden. Assisted breathing. Are you stupid, bro? You're 30 years old and you're doing assisted breathing on a sleep apnea. Surely there's something wrong. You didn't even turn pro. I'm not hating on the guy, bro. I'm not hating on him. You didn't even turn pro. Didn't even turn pro. You're not good enough to turn pro. Belly out here. Copious amounts of food, copious amounts of gear, putting kids on steroids. I say him because I know personally the dosages that he's used with small children as clients. When I say children, I mean anyone under the age of 20 in this game. And you know I'm right because even in bodybuilding, junior is under 23 years old. A junior. Maybe in professionals of other games and sports, that's an adult. But in the bodybuilding, that's under 23. You're a junior, bro. You're still a child. You're still a minor in bodybuilding. And he put 17, 18-year-old kids on a gram, 1,200 milligrams of test. I've seen the emails, bro, and this is why I was saying, if one of these guys die, those emails are going public, bro. Not by me, by them. I don't care. Ain't nothing on me, bro. But those emails are going public. When those emails go public, it's going to take one judge. It's going to take one judge's daughter, one judge's nephew, one judge's son to pass away, to die. And when those emails surface from one of you professional coaches out there, when any of you coaches who you're sending these kids heavy cycles through the WhatsApp messages, take this, take that, and he drops dead because of that cycle, and it's been very, very close to be happening loads of places all around the world. It's only going to be able to happen in America and UK because they're the countries that matter. When that happens, boy, you watch. Everything is going to get unraveled. Everything is going to get blown wide open. Because there is instances where people have been found guilty because someone's forced them to do something. Not forced, but told them to do something. Why don't you go and sit in a car and do this to yourself? Why don't you go and jump off a cliff? Why don't you go and do this? And those people have been charged with manslaughter or murder or whatever it is. I don't know the actual legal terminology for it, but they've been charged. And I can call it now, I've called it before, it's going to happen in bodybuilding very, very soon to young people. Some of these coaches haven't got a clue what they're doing. They haven't got a clue. They think everybody should just get pumped full of steroids. Whereas me, you come on board with me, I'm going to tell you to maximize your own potential first. Drop back. I will, if I do the bodybuilding coaching, an athlete's got to beg me to up the gear. Beg me. Right, Faddy, what shall I do? I'm like, bro, if you want to. But, we're doing enough. It's okay. It's TRT dose. We're all right. But you watch, these are going to come out. Soon these are going to come out. These coaches are going to get called out by someone. Like I said, just one person who's a little bit higher up in the ranks. Some politician, some MP, some judge, some high police commissioner, some sergeant, some whatever. Someone is going to drop dead and everything is going to be unraveled. They're going to be like, right, we're coming for him, and him. And I'll tell you that you'll see it. You'll see it soon. Because it's dangerous what these guys are doing. Which brings me to the mental aspect of the game. A lot of these young guys, they're deluded first of all. They don't know where they are. They think they can become Mr. Olympia because they can take so. They think they can watch TikTok videos and talk about clear regions and perpendicular to the floor and humerus, whatever crap that these guys talk about nowadays. They think just by learning some funky words, they're also going to become professional bodybuilders or professional coaches. And they don't know where they're stepping, bro. They don't know where they're stepping. And yes, I have seen people go nuts on steroids, crazy. Some people get their head up so far up their arse because they think they built a bit of muscle. And then they go out downtown and get knocked out. We've seen that many times. That used to happen back in the days. Now, not so much. Now, a lot of geeks are taking steroids. And they sat down making everything so scientific and everything so, like this. And really, these are broken men inside. Yes, these guys are broken. And on top of that, they're masking that with steroids. They're thinking by chasing a good physique is going to get them some sort of achievement or some sort of an award when really inside they're empty. I know some people that are going broke over this. I know people, successful coaches, good successful coaches that take a shitload of steroids but still can't make money or can't save money because they're spending so much on the drugs. And the drugs ain't cheap, bro, and bodybuilding don't pay. Bodybuilding don't pay. You look at Chris Bumstead, what is he getting? 50 bags to win a year? Competes once, he gets 50 G's. You think that's money? He's making money from YouTube. And he's an anomaly because he is someone who's built a good following on YouTube. But you talk about the top 10 guys. They're having to go do a GoFundMe just to get to the Olympia. Most of these guys aren't making money. They're not rich. William Bonac is a very popular Mr. Olympia. He was talking about it. You know, being robbed. So-and-so takes 60 grand off me. I'm not living good. Look at my house. I'm living in, you know, a shitty apartment. And in there, I believe that. There's a lot of guys out there who are successful. Flex Lewis, successful guy. Kevin Leverone's got his own brand. Jay Cutler, smashing it. There's a lot of business-minded guys out there, but business doesn't always equate. Just because you're a bodybuilder doesn't mean you're a good businessman. Anyway, I was waffling away for so long, the battery died, I don't even know when. So the point I was trying to say was that it's very dangerous at that high level when it comes to steroids. And yes, it does alter your mind, it does alter your brain, it does change a lot of chemical pathways in there. I don't know the science behind it, and I don't really care for the science behind it. All I know is I've seen it happen, I know it happens. A lot of bodybuilders have taught themselves. However they've done it. Why they've done it, we don't know. But we do know that steroids heighten every single sense, every single emotion. Just like a lot of drugs out there. If you're happy, you're going to be really happy. If you're sad, you're going to be really sad. That's the problem. So if you're taking that kind of a dosage, if you're horny, you're going to be really horny. Just the way it is, bro. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Not so much with TRT. I've not felt it with TRT where I can say that when I'm happy, I'm overly happy, or when I'm sad, I'm overly sad. No, I don't really. Because remember, I've done both. I know what it feels like to be off. I know what it feels like to be on. And generally, the amount that I'm taking with TRT, I never have a fluctuation with the mood change or the heightened sense of moods. I never ever have it. Everything is just very stable. Everything's very baseline. I'm okay. But when I have taken steroids, yes, absolutely. I have had those moments where you feel a bit angry and you all of a sudden feel really angry to the point of like, what is going on with me? And because I'm very in tune with my body, I understand the feeling. I understand what it is. I know what's going on. Thinking, okay, no, it's all right. I'm on the juice, bro. I'm on the juice. I'm on a gram of gear right now. I know what's happening. I'm on test. I'm on EQ. I'm taking Anavar. I know what's going on. Just calm down. Just don't worry about it. It's okay. And same with when you're happy, you're like, over the moon, buzzing. You know, I know the feeling, bro. I know the feeling. So I know there might be tests, studies, subjects out there to prove what I'm saying is true, because there is. But I'm not looking at them. So I don't look at the data either for or against my argument. I look at the data that I see in front of me and what I know and how I'm speaking to people. And recently there's a lot of bodybuilders that have come out and said, we don't want to do steroids no more. Don't take steroids. Steroids are the devil. There's many guys out there. I'm not going to name names. You guys probably know, you follow them. We don't do steroids. Oh my God, it's the devil. I can't believe it. Don't ever do this. And those are the people that can't handle emotions. Those are the people that aren't mentally sound. Those are the people that can't function without being here or there. They don't know no medium. They don't know no gray area. You see, life should be lived in the gray zone. Most people don't understand. Everything's not black and white. Live life in the gray and see how it feels. And I've said this before. Everything's 50-50. You breathe in, you breathe out 50% of your life, bro. Your heart pumps blood in. Heart pump blood out, 50% of your life. 50% of life's good, 50% of life's bad. Understand this, know the feeling, know what it is. And you're going to be okay. You don't have to be taking steroids for 20 years and say, I'm now anti-steroids because this happened to me and you guys need to learn the lessons. No, let them learn their lessons themselves. But those people who have been taking steroids for 20 years and who are experiencing this, don't now say they're the devil. How about you start educating these people? Educate the younger generation by saying, look, I did this. This is how I felt about it. Talk about your emotions. Talk about what happened when you was on it. Explain to the next guys coming up that maybe you shouldn't take these two things together. Maybe you shouldn't take 800 grams of Primo. Maybe you don't need 1200 milligrams of Trenbolone like JP used to say. Maybe you don't need all these drugs. Maybe just start here. Or maybe if you want to compete, how about we set a new standard for the youth? How about we set a new challenge for the youth and say, do you know what? You got to do your first 10 shows without touching Trenbolone. You got to turn pro without touching insulin. You got to turn pro without taking growth hormone. This should be an unwritten, standardized rule across bodybuilding that we should all follow. And it's not that if you then do this, you're now going to be deemed a cheater because you're still taking steroids or whatever. It's not like, I'm not saying put these in a test and say, oh, you should be tested for insulin, you should be tested for GH, you should be tested for trend. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that the older generation, the guys who have taken the steroids for a very long time, how about talk about how it alters your brain chemistry? How about talk about how you felt taking Trenbolone? The sacrifices you had to make with your family, the financial, strains that it put not only on you, but your family, your kids, your loved ones, your house, your mortgage, your car, everything. Explain these things, and maybe the younger generation, the younger guys coming up will be like, you know what, I kind of get where this guy's coming from, man. Look, I'm not influential enough, but there's a lot of guys out there, there's a lot of professional bodybuilders out there. I'd like to hear from them by saying, I like to hear them say, you know what, I don't think trend was all that. Maybe you shouldn't be taking that much. There are alternatives. How about you just try to win a national show by not taking Trenbolone? Why don't we all just agree and say, look, we should not take Trenbolone, man. Look, if we all in agreement and we all talk about it and say, it's the devil, don't touch it. You shouldn't be doing this kind of crap. You don't need insulin. Why are you messing around with insulin for? Instead, take X amount of insulin, 10 units before, 10 units while, 10 units pre. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. If there's a young guy comes to you and says, I've competed 7-8 times, I'm not winning no shows, get him in the best shape of his life. If you can't get in the best shape of his life, it's not for him, bro. If he can't diet long enough, it's not for him. If he can't add muscle, it's not for him. Don't say, right, you can't add muscle, let's pump you full of insulin. Let's pump you full of GH. No one out there who's a professional bodybuilder who's been the best in the world needed anything to get over that step. They were already going to hit those steps properly, professionally. It was already going to be good. They just thought, okay, I'm already good. This guy's already good. Talk about Samson. Already good bodybuilder. He's amazing. Okay? Yeah. What happens if we take insulin and put him with insulin? Yeah, he's going to win, bro. He's going to be Mr. Olympia. What happens if you get him on the trend? Oh, he's going to be the best in the world. That's what you need. That's what we should be promoting, those kind of stuff. We don't need average Joe Blow, coming out of some Lego shop thinking, yeah, all of a sudden I want to do bodybuilding. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's try a bit of bodybuilding. What should we take? 600 milligrams of Anavar and 800 mg. Shut up, bro. You ain't ever going to win a local show. I can beat you on a Saturday evening after going out. You guys ain't even that good. I might even make a comeback next year just to prove to these guys that they're not that good. If you've got the genetics, yes, like I said, I've not got the best genetics, but one thing I do have is I don't have many weak body parts. I have everything. I'm more of a complete physique, which is why I won. That was it. I wasn't the biggest. Definitely not the biggest. I never wanted to be the biggest. And guess what? Even if I wanted to be the biggest, I couldn't be the biggest. You know why? Because I haven't got what it takes. Reality check for me. Haven't got what it takes to be big. I can be lean, I can be shredded, I can be ripped, but I haven't got what it takes to be big. So I'm sorry this video was in like a bit mumble jumble because the camera cut out because of the battery. I had to go and run and get the battery. Anyway, point is, when you are on steroids, the main thing, well, two things first of all. The guys who have taken the steroids, I want you to come out and talk about it a little bit more. Share with the younger guys that you don't need these mind-altering drugs in that amount. Take what's safe and leave it at that. And for those other people out there, know that steroids in higher dosages can alter your mind. And when you know something's there, it's good to know that this can potentially happen to me. Know that feeling. I'm feeling very emotional right now and I shouldn't be. Maybe it's the Trenbolone. It can save your life. It can save somebody else's life. If you are down in the dumps, something's happened, your relationship's shit, something's gone on, financial strains, whatever, and you are on Trenbolone, and you are on test, and you are on all these other drugs, all these other chemicals, altering your mind, and you just say to yourself, look, I know life is shit at the minute, but life's supposed to be shit 50% of the time. The reason why I feel so down in the dumps is because I'm on Trenbolone. I'm not going to do anything crazy, I'm not going to do anything stupid. Learn to live in the gray zone. Learn to live in the gray zone. Everything's not black and white, bro. Learn to live there. You can save your life by doing this. And if you know someone close to you doing this, put them off the idea of taking crazy amounts. If they're a professional bodybuilder and want to take it to the next level and they are good at what they do, that's fine. But make them understand. Make them conscious about themselves and their thoughts and their process and what it is. Like I said, this is not easy work. We know it's not easy work, and I'll tell you why we know it's not easy work. Because in order to have a strong mind, a warrior mindset in this day and age, like I have, like I teach many guys to have, it's not easy. And I'll tell you why it's not easy, because if it was easy, we wouldn't see the suicide rate so high in young men right now. It's at the peak right now in males, young men right now. And yes, there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. Social media ain't helping. Energy bills, crisis, all this stuff going on is not helping. The war going on here and there, which we're having to fund, is not helping. Hopefully I don't get banned for that. There's a lot of things going on in the world that ain't helping. But if you're just aware of it, if we know about it, that helps. That certainly helps. Build that mindset to know that, okay, do you know what? There's a lot of shit going on. Know that it's possible. It can alter your brain chemistry. It can alter the way you think. It can alter your thought process. It can definitely alter every single action that you do throughout the day. Know it's there. Know you're on it. Put yourself in a safe environment whilst you're taking this. If you're competing for bodybuilding, make sure you have everything else in check. Whoever you are around, tell them, I am on Trenbolone, I am on insulin, I am on all these other exogenous testosterones in a high quantity. If I lash out, it's because of this. Please tell me, warn me, keep me in check, let me know what's going on. Be a little bit gentle with me. Keep an eye on me, check up on me. I'm doing this because I want to compete. This is my life goals, mission to whatever. I want to compete. I want to be a professional bodybuilder. I want to take it to the next level. Let the people around you know. Learn about this. The more you read about this, the more you understand this, the more other people like me and everyone else starts talking about it, the more it's going to become normalized to understand those feelings and know what to do when you do feel like that. And it's going to save a hell of a lot of lives out there, because I keep seeing it over and over again every single week, every single day. I turn on Instagram, I look at it and I think, shit, what happened there, bro? And the guys do it to themselves. It happens. It's because we don't know much about it. That's why. So please, hopefully this brought you some value. Comment down below, like, and subscribe.